Hey y'all, it's Angela again. I was just getting in a major argument with my buddy Kyle from Amarillo. We're both huge fans of the Nightlight books. The thing is, Kyle's on Team Eddie and I'm on Team Jaco. Jaco is a werewolf, and as we all know, werewolves are affected by the full moon. Now, I couldn't convince Kyle to be on Team Jaco, but I did tell him what a full moon is, along with all the other different phases. Want to hear what I told Kyle? All right, let's do it. Well, first off, what is the moon? Well, where did it come from? Most scientists today accept the idea that the moon came from the Earth. Say, what? Yeah, we think about 4 billion years ago when the Earth was a hot, blobby baby of a planet, it collided with something huge. I mean, huge. Like the size of Mars huge. After this collision, all the bits and pieces and chunks of the collision were floating around in Earth's orbit. Eventually, they all joined together, thanks to good old gravity, and formed that big pizza pie we call the moon. The Earth's gravity more or less keeps the moon in its place, revolving around us once a month or so. So the time it takes us here on Earth to revolve once around the sun, the moon has revolved around us 12 times already. That's why most civilizations naturally divided up their year into 12 chunks. Pretty awesome, right? So why is the moon sometimes full and other times you can hardly see it at all? Well, the moon goes through what is called a lunar cycle. The word lunar just means moon. And as the moon goes through its cycle, the moon takes on different phases. A phase of the moon is how it appears to us back home on Earth. So something real important to know about the moon is that it doesn't make its own light. Instead, the moon acts like a big white mirror reflecting the sun's light rays. As the moon revolves around us, it reflects the sun's rays back at different angles. This is what causes the different phases of the moon. Here, would you look at this pic for a while? Yeah, it's from NASA, so I trust it. Look at the relative positions of the Earth, the sun, and the moon. You can tell that sometimes the moon is kind of in between us and the sun. This puts the moon at a sharp angle from us. At other times in the month, the moon is on the other side of us, a little bit further from the sun. When the moon is in this position, it's at a wide angle from the Earth and sun. And sometimes the moon is at a right angle from the sun and us here on Earth. Let me circle this phase here. See this one? When the moon is in this position, you can tell that all we can see is the shadow of the moon. If you hold a basketball perfectly between you and the sun, all you can see is a ball's shadow, right? Same with the moon. This phase is called new moon. All right, look at what happens when the moon's in this position, right here. Got it? Okay. We get a full-on view of the moon reflecting back the sun's rays. That's why it's called a full moon. In between the full moon phase and the new moon phase, the moon waxes and wanes. Whenever the moon is waning, the sunlit portion that we can see is getting smaller. The moon looks like it's getting smaller and smaller. Let's point out the waning phases here, here, and here. When you see exactly half of the moon in this part of the lunar cycle, we say it's the last quarter. It's like the moon is on its last leg, getting ready to disappear. Well, if waning means the moon appears to be getting smaller and smaller, what does waxing mean? Yeah, that's right. The sunlit portion visible to us is getting larger and larger. So the moon is getting fuller and fuller. Let's write that down. You can see that here, here, and here. The moon is getting fuller, so it's waxing until it's way, way full. Two last terms, crescent and gibbous. When the moon is more than halfway empty, it's in crescent phase. When the moon appears more almost, full, we say it's in gibbous phase. So if we put all these terms together, the moon goes through 8 major phases in the lunar cycle. The moon can look waxing gibbous or waning crescent or last quarter or full or waning gibbous. I know, there's a ton. There's so many. So I just think of it this way. The moon fills up from right to left, and it also empties from right to left. Look at this picture. See, at first, the moon looks really empty because all we see is its shadow. This is a new moon, right? Okay, good. So then it barely starts to fill up on the right. This means it's in crescent phase. Nice. And from this phase until the moon is full, it's just getting bigger and bigger. It'll be waxing, that's right. So we start off with a new moon, then waxing crescent, then the first quarter filled up halfway, then waxing gibbous, and finally, full moon. All right. Then keep on going. The moon empties. It empties from right to left. It'll be, yes, good job, waning all the way back until it's new moon again. Waning gibbous, last quarter, and waning crescent. Hey, now, don't panic, just remember, the moon waxes from right to left as it gets bigger and wanes right to left as it gets smaller. You get it. I'll prove it to you. Let's say that this is the moon tonight. Okay, what's it going to look like in a couple of nights from now? Okay, let's see. Looks like it's starting to empty from right to left. So since it's waning, the sunlit part is going to get smaller. So in a couple of days, how's the moon going to appear to us? Yes, halfway emptied out on the right side. It's in the last quarter on its way to being a completely empty new moon. Let's say Kyle wants to have a full moon party, and this is how the moon looks tonight. When should he have his party? A week from now? A month from now? In a couple of days? Well, first things first, is the moon waxing or waning? Yes, it's filling up from right to left, so it's waxing and getting bigger. So since the moon is waxing and it's crescent, how much time does Kyle have? A couple of days? No way! The moon will only be in its first quarter in a couple of days, right? Then in a week, it'll be full. So Kyle has like a week and a half to get his act together for his full moon party. So now you know all the phases of the moon. And you can even predict how it's going to look to us Earthlings days, weeks, even a month from now. Not bad. All right, until next time, it's your girl Angela reminding you, beware of the full moon. Bye, guys.